Hey guys, I made it back from Dublin, and after all the stress, if you watched that previous video, right, I was so stressed out to go to Dublin and to take Ryanair. I had to swap my bag at night. I changed at least 3 times bags to make sure that I will have the correct bag to travel with Ryanair, because I had so many bad memories with Ryanair that I was just freaked out to travel with them again. But guys, I have to admit something about Ryanair. Oh my god, I didn't think I could say that today about Ryanair. I disliked them so much before, right? I hated them after losing so much money with them, losing 4 tickets, then being stranded at the airport in Luxembourg because, well, you didn't do the check-in online. I didn't know I had to. I had so many incidents with them. Then I was like, oh my goodness. But they were the cheapest tickets that time when I was flying to Dublin. So I took them. So on this video, I'm going to show you what happened at the gate and how I spent a few days in Dublin and why today I might think differently about the low-cost airline like EasyJet and Ryanair that we're very lucky to have, to be honest, in the UK. So as I was saying, if you saw my last video, I was terrified about having to travel with Ryanair. I didn't sleep at all, simply because Ryanair has cost me so much money before. But this time, guys, the return flight from London to Dublin costed me only something like £30, £36, less than £40. And that was for a return flight. That's even cheaper than going from my town to London. But I took a whole flight to go to Dublin. So as much as we complain about the strictness about luggage allowance and all of that, we are quite lucky to be able to fly for less than £50 to go to a whole other country. So I have to admit that. So guys, I swapped for my 15 liters bag and I made my way to the airport. I went to the gate ready to fight. Nothing. Everything went so smoothly. Same when I came back to the UK, no issue at all. I had a fantastic experience on my return flight from London, Dublin to London with Ryanair. So I want to say thank you. And the thing with the low-cost airline like Ryanair and EasyJet, you have to know the rules and you have to respect the rules. So you won't pay any fee and you won't have any drama at the airport. And I'm happy that I swapped the bag because then I went through the gate very comfortably. I knew that my bag was even too small for the place. There was enough space for me to go with my black bag, but I felt comfortably. And I think I may travel now with my 15 liters instead of my 25 liters. If I go just for a short distance, 4 days, a short trip, I won't take the bigger one. I will take just my 15 liters. So at least I remove all the stress of going to the airport. And the trois. So bottom line is, if you know the rule and respect them, you keep your money. You won't pay any fees and there won't be any drama. So know the rules and respect those rules, because we are quite lucky to be able to travel for so little. So Dublin was very loud, not only at the bus, because guys, I took the bus from the airport and know that you don't have to buy any expensive taxi or transfer or whatever to go to your hotel. There's a bus that leaves the airport directly to the center of Dublin, and that's where I was. My hostel was at the center. So I bought the Leap card, the Leap visitor card. It's a card for visitors where you can pay it at the airport at a kiosk, and you can pay for 1 day, for 3 days, whatever. I take 3 days. I didn't need to be honest with you, because I only used this for 1 day, but I wanted to be able to take the bus whenever I wanted, because with that card you could take the train, the bus, and the tram, because they have a tram too. So it was really good. But because I had that conference, I actually did not use the card enough. But mind you, that card took me back to the airport. So it was well worth it. I think I spent For 3 days, it was something like £18 or £16. I can't remember. I will put that on the screen. As I showed you on the last video, I stayed at a hostel and they had like pods, Capsule Hotel. My family thought I was sleeping in a spaceship or something. I'm used to them now because I've stayed in London as well. I find them quite comfortable. It's not a place where you can stay all day long or for a long time. If it's just for a few days, it's okay because it's just to put your head down. But if you want to stay for 2 weeks, I wouldn't, because I would want to sit somewhere, have a desk, although there's like common areas, but I wouldn't. I would prefer a Airbnb or a hotel where I can sit at a desk, etc., and don't have to leave my room to have the commodity or having a desk. But for a few days, it's really good. And for younger people, they can spend a month there because they just go to sleep most of the day. They're outside. And there was a lot of people of my age there. I actually even met a friend there, so it was really worth it. And I had it for a steal, £190 for 3 days, free night during the St. Patrick days, and it was right at the center where the parade was going. It was not far from the Dublin portal, where all the attraction, all the very interesting things happening. That's where my hostel was, and that's what I love about hostels, because they're central, so you could walk everywhere. I didn't have to take a taxi or a Uber or anything. I was just riding with either the bus, just with that same card. Guys, I have a few tips to give you because Dublin is really expensive. So first, I thought I would do bus tour with the public transportation. I went everywhere to ask for advice. What is the best route of bus to be able to see all the major attraction of the city? No one could give me. It was very complicated and it was raining. I'm doing something different. I bought the visitor leap card for 3 days. So I looked online the best touristic route through public transportation. That's what I'm gonna do now, because I've already paid, so I don't want to pay for another bus too. And then, so at the end, I never mind, because I didn't want to spend more, as I already had a 3-day bus ticket. But at the end of the day, what I did is I gave in, and I went to 3 different sightseeing bus. There's many Dublin bus. You know, there's this one there. If you recognize this one, I took all of them before. There's a sightseeing bus as well, but I don't know where it is right now. So they wanted to sell me the ticket. They were actually the most affordable. It was ranking between €40 to €35. And so they wanted to sell me one, I think it was 35 or 36 euros. I'm like, I will go with you, but I'm going to check online because there's always discount online. And mind you, I went online, search, and I got my sightseeing to bus ticket for 17 something, £18. Guys, that's almost half of what I would have paid. It's half actually of what I would have paid directly to the ticket center, to their office. So whenever you go do those activities, always check online, because you would most often find deals online and save money on that. And I also managed to find a Lidl that was right there in the center for me to buy some fruit, vegetables, something to eat. I didn't check for deals. My ticket would have cost me over £100 actually. I had a ticket that was £100 and something, but I keep searching for a deal until I came and found that deal. So always look, there's always a better deal to have. And guys, when we travel, It's more about the experience. And I was there really for a conference. I traveled to meet one woman, because look at people who are living the life you want and follow the lead. So I'm in the travel business that I love, because as travel is something that I love doing. It's my passion. So of course I had to be in a travel business that can allow me to travel more and pay me as well. So this woman has inspired me. She's one of the leader, and you have to approach people that inspire you. So I paid 50 euros for the conference, and it was worth every penny, guys. Not only for that money, right, which is not a lot. I had a full course meal. I have a picture here, and that's all part of traveling, guys. You know, traveling is not just about the destination, but also about the people you meet along the way. And they took me to a real experience in Dublin, to the pub. And without these people, I wouldn't have the same experience. So now, I want to talk to you about the numbers, right? Because I think it's important to share with you how much everything costed me, right? So let's talk numbers. The flight. Thank you. This is why I had to give the stage to Ryanair, because without the ticket that I got from them, I wouldn't have been able to have the same experience, because I traveled for so cheap. The flight costed me £36.25. This is so cheap. The hostel costed me £190 instead of £220 or £240, because I took it with my private club platform. So I saved money there. It's an amazing way to travel, right? Because to be in a community of travelers or people who love to travel, and you're never alone actually, right? So it's amazing. If you want to know more about it, let me know. So when we add the food, the miscellaneous, the total is £412, which is not bad at all. Because when I went to the bars and all of that, Irish people are very generous. I got offered beer. I didn't pay for any beer. I got offered. So this has saved me a bit more money. Otherwise, I think my bill would have been a little bit higher, of £10 or £20 more. So I traveled back at 3 a.m. because my flight was at 5 a.m. For this type of price, usually the hours are a little bit wonky, but we made it. So I walked from my hostel to the bus stop by myself at night. It was just the St. Patrick's Day, so there was a lot of people already running and going everywhere, getting ready for St. Patrick even at 3 a.m. So I was not alone, although I was scared, but there was a lot of people around. So guys, if you were afraid like me or afraid of the low-cost airline like EasyJet and Ryanair, don't be. I am grateful for them to exist and to be able to give us such low prices, because without them, a lot of us would not be able to travel. So you can do it. You just have to do your homework, respect the rules, use a 25 liters or 15 liters, and bring less stuff with you, and you're still gonna have fun, right? I even managed to went to Primark, which is Pennies, in Dublin, to buy a t-shirt, a St. Patrick's Day t-shirt. I had to go get changed because I had to wear my Primark t-shirt. That's only the second time I wear it. I wore it last time for that video about St. Patrick. And so, yeah, I even managed to go and buy myself a t-shirt. What's your worst stories with Ryanair? Mine is losing 4 tickets. Because I arrived at the gate, that was like 5, 6, maybe even 10 years ago. Because my kid was still small and we were running late. We arrived at the gate and somebody passed just on the front of us and they let them go. And we were 4 and they're like, no, the gate is closed. But we arrived almost at the same time. They're right there on the front of us. Because airline oversell ticket. And so they had sold our ticket. They didn't have 4th place anymore. That's my deduction of it, because they never refund me anything. I had an insurance, but the insurance is if something happened and blah, blah, blah. I thought it would cover, but it did not. So I had to buy, instead of even buying the ticket, I took my car and we drove to France, to Lyon, from Manchester. were we in Manchester or London? I can't remember. We were somewhere, okay? So that was something really annoying. And the second time is when maybe 3 years ago, I went to Luxembourg with my daughter and I didn't check in online because after that, that story with Ryanair, I decided not to fly with them anymore. And so I was taking only Air France, or, like Air France is the company that I was traveling the most with. And so I'm not used to checking online. So we arrive at the airport and they're like, well, for check-in at the gate is £55 per person. I'm like, what? More expensive than the ticket itself, £110. No way. I'm like, okay, we can go do that on the phone. It was too late because you have to do that 2 hours before. So read the condition, the terms and condition of your ticket, okay? Know the airline company rules and respect them, and you're gonna have a good time. So this time around, to be honest with you, I had an amazing time. And if I have to be honest, lately I've been traveling a lot with EasyJet, simply because Ryanair goes to Stansted Airport. It's far, far, far away. And EasyJet goes to Gatwick, Luton, etc. They're more closer airport to where I am. But I had no issue. Even if my black bag is like full packed, they don't bother you. Honestly, I had only very good experience. And nowadays I don't pay for my seat anymore. I used to pay for my seat all the time because I don't like to be put in the middle. I don't pay anymore. I just go, and most of the time the flight is not full at all, and I move after. So yeah, I think I'm now feeling better about the low cost company, and know, as long as I know the rule, the next time I won't be spending a whole day without sleeping, because I know that I just need to make sure that I have a smaller pack and I respect the rule. I check it online beforehand and everything should be fine. My birthday is next month on the 27th of June, and I'm doing my best to be monetized by then. This channel have been running for 3 years, and so I'm losing hours daily. Like, I was almost at 4,000 watch hours, and now I'm down to 3,000. 2 days ago I was at 3,300. Okay, but I've lost 300 because the days out of the 365 they keep falling off, and I really need to get that channel monetized. So I'm really pleading to you to help me out and support the channel. If you are a 50+ woman, if you're interested about travel, please subscribe, support the channel. I have 100,000 footage that I need to work on. I'm working hard on them. I have Birmingham that I went to see, so 2 of my friends that I will edit next. I have Zanzibar. I keep talking about Zanzibar, but I'm not working on the footage because there's so much of them that I'm like, where do I start? It's coming up. I have Nairobi. I have Gabon, Cameroon. Okay, I have Antalya, Turkey that I've just come back from. I have a lot of footage, and I didn't even finish the footage of my trip in France, where I've been to Zaragoza, to Barcelona, to Lyon. I have not showed you any of that, and my focus right now is to edit the footage and bring them on the channel. So if you're a woman over 50 who would like to travel and is curious to know how is it possible, right, and who want to be encouraged to take travel as a way of reinventing your life, when you go out there, I don't know, there's a shift. Travel is something that will just automatically remove you from where you are and bring you to something new. Okay, it's funny. I don't even know how to express it. It's just magical. When you go to a new country, it's a new different experience. You discover yourself more, you discover your strength. And I was talking about it with my guest yesterday on the TV shows. I invite you to check it out. to buy a toothpaste and toothbrush. It's completely closed. So, shit.
And I decided I will do something very different. I will start to create my passive income, because passive income gives you freedom. If you don't make money while you sleep, you are not a free person. If you work every day to make money, you don't have time. The real coin, the most precious coin of our life is time, not money. There are a lot of possibilities to make money. You can take the second job, you can take the third job, you can work full-time, part-time, every day. This is not life. This is work. Do you want a busy life? A frustrated one? Or do you want a free life? A fulfilled life? With everything in it. With joy, with kids, with family, with vacations, collecting memories, visiting the world. Maybe now it is a dream. But just because you dare to follow your dream, make the first step. Today is a day of decision.
Ole, ole, ole.